Hello, my most amazing artist. You are going to start today by writing your name on both of your pieces of paper. You will also write your teacher's name. Then you're going to flip them over so that your name is on the back. We are going to be creating a tint today. A tint is adding white to a color to make it lighter. You're going to start with white at the top of your paper, and then you are going to add blue. So paint the top half of your paper all white, and while your white paint is still wet, you're going to blend in the blue going from the middle of your paper up. The bottom of your paper, you're going to paint with just blue. You will not need to rinse your brush today. Notice how I am not going up and down with my brush, I'm going back and forth from side to side. Congratulations, you've created what's called a gradient. This is going from a darker color to a lighter color, or what's called a tint. When you're finished with that, you can add some snow to your sky or your background by doing some splatter painting. You'll hold tightly to the end of your brush, and then with 2 fingers, you're going to gently tap on the top of your brush. Make sure that you are gentle, or this might get all over your face. I'm tapping on the top and holding really tight to my brush on the bottom. Once you're all finished with your splatter painting, you're going to start cleaning up your painted papers. You'll bring your brush to the sink, hair down in the wash brush bucket. Then you'll bring your beautiful gradient background to the drying rack. You're going to bring your white paint back to your art cart and your paint plate in the garbage. You may need to wipe down your table a little bit with a damp table rag from next to your sink and dry it off with a paper towel. Then we're ready to start the next step. We're going to start drawing our cityscape. We're going to use 3-inch sections for each of our buildings. You'll measure at the bottom of your paper, making a little mark where 3 inches is. 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, 9 on the other side too. Then you're going to connect those with your ruler so that you have some nice and straight buildings. Once you're finished with that, you're going to start drawing some rooftops. These can be all kinds of different shapes. Make sure that you have some of your rooftops taller and some of them a little bit shorter, so you have buildings of all different sizes. This is called variety in art, and it adds interest to your picture when you have things that look a little bit different. Then you're going to trace in your rooftops and the sides of your buildings with a Sharpie marker. This way you can clearly see where each of your buildings starts and ends. Now you're going to start adding the details. You can create whatever type of buildings that you would like. They could be houses, they could be food places, they could be places in your community. It is up to you. Please make sure that you do a really careful job with the detail. I have some example sheets with different ideas for you as well. But I really love when you create your own special creations and ideas using your own creativity. Once you're finished drawing in pencil, you guessed it, you're going to trace and erase with Sharpie marker and a big eraser. For small details, you can use the skinny Sharpie, and for larger details, you can use a thick Sharpie. After you're finished tracing with Sharpie, you're going to use your big eraser to erase the extra pencil lines. This keeps us having good craftsmanship, nice and neat. I'm going to use a letter L with my hand, and inside of that letter L, I'm going to use my big eraser. This helps to make sure that your paper doesn't get all crumpled up as you are erasing. Holding the paper down with my letter L hand, and inside of my letter L is where I'm erasing. The next step is to use a blue oil pastel on the edges of your buildings. It can be whatever kind of blue that you can find in your oil pastel bin. Then we're going to take a number 1 finger and kind of blend or smear the oil pastel. This is going to add a nice icy shadow to the sides of our buildings. Next, we are going to be cutting and gluing our village or our city onto our background. So first, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut along the rooftops. Your building should be all together, so this will be pretty simple to just cut along the rooftops since your buildings are all connected. And then you are going to use your glue bottle, flipping your village over and gluing on the back. When you glue, I want you to use the rule dot dot, not a lot, on the edges of your paper. Or you can use a skinny noodle of glue, little ladybug-sized dots, or a skinny noodle river of glue. You don't need any glue in the middle, you only need glue on the edges of your paper. This will help all of those edges and corners stick. Then you're going to do a careful job of lining it up with the bottom of your background. Hover above your paper and then set it down. You will need to flip your whole thing over and give it a nice back rub with your high 5 hand. Using a flat high 5 hand, you will rub the back so that those stick nicely.